Hello, Meoni here. Welcome back to another video, this time just to talk about the latest free login campaign posted today, the 21st of August 2025. Free login is back, essentially. So if you've not been paying for the game, but you have an active service account, you have Final Fantasy XIV purchased, you'll be able to come back to the game for a limited amount of time and take part in all of the 7.3 goodness. 7.3, as they say on this post, the promise of tomorrow, added a bunch of new stuff. The new Final Fantasy XI crossover alliance raid, Echoes of Vana'diel Sandoria, the second walk, which is actually really good, the treasure map dungeon, Vault 1 Iron, which is a lot of fun with friends, and a lot of other stuff as well. There's been a lot of additions to this patch, and it might be a great opportunity to come back to the game for free, essentially, and play out the remaining Dawntrail MSQ. I mean, this is the last chapter of Dawntrail's storyline, essentially, apart from the wrap-up patches afterwards, but this came to a conclusion without talking about it in any great detail, of course, not wanting to spoil anything, but a great opportunity to come back, try out some of the new features, including group post features, chat bubbles, etc, etc. If you want to see any of the new features, I've pretty much covered the majority of them now on the YouTube channel, so feel free to watch some of those videos. If we go to the free login campaign website, you can see the details, restrictions, and requirements for this, and as you can see, it takes place from today and lasts until September the 23rd, 2025 at 7:59 AM PDT. That's the time zone they're going with. The way you do this is you confirm your eligibility requirements that's listed below, you launch the 14 client, patch it up to date, and then you enjoy your Final Fantasy XIV duration of free play period. Essentially, as soon as you log in, that starts. Your eligibility then, so you have previously purchased and registered 14. All registered service accounts must be set to inactive during the campaign period, i.e. you've not been playing it and paying for it, and the registered service account must have been inactive for at least 30 days. So if it just ran out, you're not going to have any eligibility for this. It needs to have been at least 30 days since you last paid for the game and logged in, essentially. And the campaign details, there's the date again. The free login period is 4 days, including the day on which the user first logs into the launcher, right? So as soon as you type in your details to the launcher and it starts patching, this will be the start of you actually having time to play the game. So bear in mind, for like patching and stuff, if you're on bad internet, it might be a good idea to get the files downloaded from a friend or something. I know some people live in rural areas before you actually take part in this. The period will end on the 4th day at 11:59 PM PST, so just before midnight on the 4th day, just so you know. And if you need to reinstall the game, there's links. This will obviously be linked in the description of this video below. And as you can see, there's all sorts of caveats for different platforms as well, for where to download it and things. But yes, so regarding the free login campaign, it begins after logging into the game launcher using your Square Enix ID and password, and once activated, this free login period will end once it reaches the allotted free playtime duration, regardless of whether you actually play the game. So bear that in mind. Even if you haven't logged in to the actual game and gone to your character, etc., and done anything, as soon as you type in your details, that's your timer starting, okay? Players with multiple service accounts registered to a single Square Enix account cannot participate if at least one of the accounts is currently active. So if you're somebody who has lots of 14 accounts attached to their Square Enix account, which might not be many of you, that's something to bear in mind. Service accounts that have been cancelled or suspended due to violations of the service agreement cannot participate, and players who have added game time to the applicable service account, such as by purchasing a subscription during their free login period, will forfeit the remaining duration of said period. So bear in mind, if you have upgraded from your free trial, don't do this, essentially, unless it works out to be, better to have the 4 days than it is to have whatever's left on your free login period from the upgrade, okay? Players cannot log in using a platform on which their service accounts have not been registered. So if you haven't got a PlayStation account, you're not going to be able to log in with a PC account unless you purchase that, that version of the game again. That's how that works. Players can log in using all platforms on which their service account has been registered, however, so if you have had it, added before, if you've got a PlayStation version added and a PC version and they're both inactive, you'll still be able to log in on both during this time, as long as you're not adding anything new, basically. When attempting to participate in a free login campaign using a Square Enix account with multiple servers accounts, it says here, the free login period will be valid only for the first server's account selected upon logging in. Please note that you may be unable to participate if a free login campaign with more than one server's account at a time. If you cannot log in using a second server's account, even after meeting all of the other requirements, we ask that you wait for the free login period to expire on your first server's account and try again. So wait until those 4 days are over, then try again on your next account if you have multiple accounts. And additionally, also a footnote, server maintenance may be carried out during this login period, although probably not. I think they got most of the emergency maintenance for 7.3 out of the way, but we never know, something could crop up. Please note that you'll be unable to log into the game during maintenance, and that's pretty much it. So a great time to come back to the game, enjoy some of the features that we have been doing videos on. Yeah, these are always nice, beneficial things, especially if you're on the fence or not of whether you want to pay money for this game. Currently, a lot of people have unsubbed from Dawntrail for various reasons. This might be a good way of dipping your toe back in, getting some rewards, and then dipping your toe back out again until the next expansion, but that's up to you to decide. Anyway, more videos on the way. You can expect more 7.3 onwards coverage from me, even if you're not paying and playing the game yourself. You can keep up to date. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you're doing this, if you're, recently came back to the game and you're kicking yourself that you're paying for it, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.